I am the Shade, and welcome to the Shadows. Welcome back to my Minecraft Let's Play. This should be episode number 4. Had some technical difficulties, which is why I'm back here instead of at the bed over there in the mountains where I died and respawned at last time you were watching. What happened was I had some sort of weird recording issue. I played for about 15 minutes and it didn't have any audio. I think I have that fixed. I don't think it'll do it again. It's part of the reason I'm kind of testing right now, just trying to see how well it's going to respond. You really didn't miss anything. The only thing I did was I respawned at the bed, I gathered up everything I had over there, I came over here, and I've basically been digging out the ground so that it's at the level that I want it to be at. And the only other thing I did of any note was I placed these few items. I don't know why I did that. Hold on. Okay, there we go. And I just placed these items right here because this is going to be the location of my house. And that's why I'm leveling the ground to where I want it. I'm a little particular on my ground. I like it to be at ocean level. And I know it causes it to be a little bit more work, but to me I think it's kind of worth it. I made some more torches. I put a bed closer by. It's right over there around those trees. And that's pretty much up to date with where we're at now. Just trying to listen real carefully for any further glitches in my audio. I still can't believe that happened. It's so weird. It's never happened before, and then all of a sudden it just goes all wonky on me. I dropped my frame rate from, it was originally 60, which I really liked, down to 30. I think that might stop the weirdness of the videos, and I'm hoping on a game like Minecraft it won't be that noticeable. I mean, when you're playing a game, yeah, it's really obvious, but I'm hoping just watching it, you won't feel the lag that bad. If it's not acceptable to my standards, I might just have to find a different video doing software, but I would hate to do that because this one has been my favorite one so far. It does so much of the work for you, it's a little ridiculous. You know, you just record while you're playing. It does everything else. It's awesome. It encodes it, formats it, everything. But right here is going to be the location of my house. I severely doubt I have enough wood to build it up in its entirety. I'm probably going to have to go after some more trees. And of course, I like the white lumber, so it's gonna take some work finding enough of the right trees. I need to go ahead and plant I think it's birch, the birch trees that I have, so that I can just keep going and harvesting them without having to hunt all over the place for the right kind of lumber. I enjoy using multiple materials in my builds, but I'm not making a house out of multicolored wood. I'm just not doing it. Alright, it's getting really close to nighttime. Gonna run to that bed I told you guys about real quick. And crash. Now it's daytime! Yay! Alright, is there any more white? Well, I need to quit calling it white. It has a name. It's birch. There's some over there, some right here. I'm gonna go ahead and gather up some of this because I'm really close to being ready to building the house. When you chop down a tree, usually the best thing you can do is they're usually just like 1 or 2 blocks too high. So if you chop the top, not the top. If you don't chop it at the ground but 1 block higher, it gives you something to stand on to get the very last block. And then you just take it off when you go. To me, I find it an easier way to get most trees. unless they branch out, in which case, I mean, then they're a real pain. It's the other reason I like the birch so much, is I don't think it has branches. It just goes straight up. No fuss. The other trees that branch out in all directions drive me nuts, because unless you get every single piece of wood, the leaves won't start to go away, and then you're left with ugly, hanging leaves. Not a fan. Alright, that looked like most of what was nearby. I will be getting these for lumber and other things. Sorry. For coal and other things. But right now, I just want enough stuff to build my house. My house, my house, my house. Because as soon as the house is ready, and as soon as I get a little bit of a farm going too, so I have some reliable food, other than the meats I've gathered, I'm going to start mining. Ooh, there's someone nearby. Must be underground somewhere. I can't imagine they'd be up and about around here. Yeah, cause see, everything I want's well, not everything. A lot of the stuff I need's underground, and I've just gotta get there as soon as possible so I can start gathering it. I want a map. I want redstone wiring. I want a clock. Oh, I love having a clock in this game. I'm still gonna make that as soon as I get the first chance. I need a ton of iron so I can make buckets and everything else. You know, as much as this game is about building, it really is about mining. Which for me is no big deal. I actually like mining. I think other people find it a little tedious and a little boring. I think that's one of the reasons other people like to play this game so much with me, is because I'll get down there and just mine out so much stuff that, like, no one else has to. For the most part, I actually like building my bases underground. I think you can come across you can make some very interesting structures that way. I know I should be hanging around a little while longer and collecting the saplings. I think I already have a few, and I really just don't want to waste the time. Not just because I'm recording, but, you know, honestly, because I'm a little on the impatient side. I mean, there are things I don't mind spend time doing, and there are things that I just find tedious and boring, and waiting for leaves to disappear is one of them. Let's see. That's a good amount. Go ahead and do these trees that are just right here, just because they're staring me right in the face. Then I'm gonna get back to over here. Now, I haven't done it yet, and I might include a link in the description when I do. No, scratch the might. I'm going to include a link in the description when I do of the program I use to reset my spawn point. I'm gonna reset my spawn point to this area only because if my bed gets destroyed and I die, I'm gonna end up like a couple days journey away from here, and that really sucks. It's happened to me a few times before in other games, and it's just really super annoying. Especially when you feel that there's really no good reason for it. There should be a way in the game to reset your spawn point. In my opinion. I mean, to me that is really not asking too much. I know the torches are kind of close together, but I have a certain pattern in the way I like to build, and I use the torches to help me measure everything out. I'll try to keep it from getting too tedious when I'm counting out, but like I said, it just keeps all my structures in a more lined up way. I really want to go ahead and wipe out this little pond right there. Do I have another one close by? I think so, so I'm not too... Yeah, because I got this one right here. And I can make me a nice little farm right around it, which means I can completely fill that one in. Okay, that is good. Very good. Nope, not that one. There it is. Okay. It looks like this is all sand. Okay, which is fine. I'll just go ahead and fill that in. I was looking to see if any of it was clay, because I think I've already said this once before, but anytime you can get your hands on clay, you really want to go ahead and do it, because it's easy to find in small quantities. It's really hard to find in any sort of large quantity. Most everything else is really easy to get. Well, as far as building blocks go. I mean, the hardest thing to get are things like glowstone and things you got to get from the nether, but I mean, just building materials, I would say that mountain over there is the hardest thing to find. And if you have not seen my earlier two videos, go back and check out number 2 or number 3. You really want that program. It makes it so much easier when you can see an overview of your whole map. And like I said, it does not include player structures. It does not include any adjustments or changes you make. I don't even think it works with the game settings such as larger biomes and stuff like that. So you have to keep it straight and normal. But it really is a lifesaver. Okay. Sorry if my dialogue is a little off. The fact is I already did this for like 15 minutes talking and none of it got recorded. I mean, not a word. It was really annoying. And now I've spent so much time trying to fix it, it's like super late here. But I really want to get some of these videos done so I can put them up tonight. I really would like to make this a regular habit for me. And you know, while Minecraft is the first game I'm doing, primarily because it is the game I know the best. I mean, I've been playing this game for a very long time. There are a lot of other games I would also like to do. And, you know, one of them is, I don't know if you've ever heard of it or not, but Rogue Legacy, which is a lot of fun. Where's the rest of my lumber? Oh, I burned it all up. Duh. Okay. Rogue Legacy, which I don't know if you've ever heard of or not. But if you haven't, stay tuned, because that's going to be the next game I play. It's not a building game, it's an action game. It's kind of old school. The graphics aren't bad. They're nowhere near realistic, but they're good. And it's just an awesome game, and I'm looking forward to doing that one, just like this one. For the time being, I'm sticking with games that I know pretty well, because I'm not used to doing this whole YouTube thing. So I'm trying to stay with one thing I'm not used to at a time. Once I get the hang of the YouTube thing a little better, I'm probably going to branch out and do some games that I really don't know that much about. I know top on my list is Dark Souls. That is one of the first games I'm going to do that I don't know that well. But that will probably be sometime down the road. You know, anyone who starts watching these, if you guys have a specific game you think's really awesome, you'd like to see me play, you know, leave it in the comments. I can't say I'll get them all, but I'll be happy to look at any games you guys think are awesome. Always need more games. But I also have a Steam library full of games. Some of them I haven't even played yet, so I'm really looking forward to doing those on here too. first house done. I can't wait to have it done enough so I can quit running over to the corner every time the sun starts to go down. That's always kind of annoying. Now, I'm most likely not going to leave the bottom of this thing grass either. Once I get done... Oh, crud. Part of the problem with having so many torches around is you can't always tell when the... I should have put that up. Am I going to get attacked? Okay. Listen, never do what I just did, okay? It's a great way to get your butt kicked. But I lucked up. Couple skellies. Okay. Yeah, never just leave yourself open when you go to sleep. 9 times out of 10, a random monster will just kind of pop up next to you and wake you up in the middle of the night. I still can't believe I got away with that. You know, this game usually will kick your butt when you do something that it knows you shouldn't do. My eye for... Yeah, I went to one too many. Now, I am a big math person. I like all my structures to bear a certain mathematical precision, which to an extent I've already screwed up. Well, isn't that just spiffy? Okay. No one's perfect. And it's been a long time since I've played this game. Not making excuses, just saying, you know, I'm a little rusty. Go ahead and open you up, drop off the dirt. Actually, I need to go ahead and plant those. That, and that. Okay. Now here's what I'm gonna do. Go ahead and break these back out. Go ahead and break this one. Okay. Now, here's the thing. As a personal opinion, whenever you're building a structure, you want to stick with odd numbers. You really don't want evens. Of course, then again, okay, yeah, I'm gonna stick to that. So that would be my... Okay. Like I said, you really need to stick to odd numbers for the most part. That's part of the reason that this torch placement is as close as it is. I actually could have gotten away with torches that were slightly further apart. I chose not to because the fact is that... Let me kill the spider real quick. That if I oh, no you don't. Gotcha. Basically, if I could have extended the torches out one more space and everything would have been cool, except for one thing. All of my structures would have then been based on on equal numbers, even numbers, and that's a bad design. For the most part, I very seldom ever come up in a situation where having even numbers was anything but a pain. Maybe you've had different experiences, you know, let me know. Do you like your structures to be even or odd? Is there an advantage either way? Is it personal preference? You know, for every person who likes it one way, there's usually someone else who's found a really good reason to do it a different way, so... as much as I would like to teach other people, please feel free to teach me. I mean, if you know something I don't. And I know this really isn't all that necessary, but it's an aesthetics thing for me. I just don't really like areas to be too high up. And I'm really going to need to go ahead and make a dirt chest because I'm already accumulating a lot and it's only going to get worse. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and do these by hand real quick because there's not many left. And then I'll be happy. Okay. Now I'm happy. Let's go ahead and eat so I can get my health back. I gotta stop hitting that button. I play another game where you hit the inventory button to open stuff, and that's why I keep doing it here. Sorry about that. I'll try to do better. My mouse is not responding real well either. I need to try to clean it after this. I'm gonna have to knock that out too, or it's gonna bother the crap out of me. Okay, there we go. 2 blocks at a time. Unless... yeah, no. Okay, so 2 blocks at a time. Best I can do. Now, at some point later on, I'm going to build much nicer and much larger structures. And that's one of the reasons I like making things out of wood early on. It's because twofold reason. One, it's really not that hard to break down. I mean, with a good steel axe, maybe an enchantment or 2 on it, it really wouldn't take long to by hand break it down. And then 2, if you've got enough resources and you really don't care about the wood, you can pretty much set it on fire and get rid of it. I mean, not saying there won't be a couple pieces left over, but it's a lot easier to knock out a couple pieces than it is the whole structure. I'm actually, in this Let's Play, once I get to some larger and nicer buildings, I'm going to try something I've always wanted to try. Maybe you guys have. Let me know. I've always wanted to build something and then have a, I don't quite know how to put this, wooding scaffolding going up it to make it easier to get to the areas, and then once the structure's finished, try to have all the wood touching enough where I can just set it on fire and let it burn itself away. Really don't know how well it will work, but I really like the theory of it. See, and I'm already almost out of wood. And I still haven't planted the birch trees. Duh. Okay. At least with the wall, the really only major thing I have to worry about are spiders. Because nothing else can climb. Oh, and Enderman. I might not want to have the roof too high. I forgot about them. Because they'll just teleport right inside of it. And I think they're 4 tall. So if you make your roof 3 high, they can't get inside. I really like having a decent high roof. I mean, I hate feeling cramped inside my houses. Okay. That is a good stop. I did go ahead and grab those. Let's see. I'm gonna make my entrance right here, which will need a door, but I'll worry about that in a minute. Clear out some of this. These planted. So hopefully they'll grow, and then I can have a very convenient place to get more of that lumber from. But until that, looks like, how much daytime I got left? Got a little bit. Let's see if I can't knock down a few more trees. I probably should not have made my first house so ambitious, but a lot of times the first house I build is way too small and it's too cramped, and I can't use it for as long as I need. And I feel like it's better just to go ahead and make a house big enough so that you have the space you need to get around. And once I start bringing back all the resources I'm going to be gathering, I'm going to need a lot of space. I mean, like a lot of space. As soon as I can get the top part of that house finished, I am digging straight down to a depth of about 10. And that's where most of my mining is going to be done. I need to decide when I can start getting lava too, because I definitely am going to need that as well. I'm a big into lava when I play. I think it makes a great resource. It's great for lighting, and it's also really good for a fuel source for your furnaces. I'm trying to remember if they still keep the bucket or not. I think they give the bucket back now, which was the only thing that ever sucked about that. I remember that it used to be when you'd put it in there, you wouldn't get your bucket back, and it cost you the iron too, and it didn't really make any sense, but I think that got fixed a long time ago. Skeletons are always worth hitting, or at least trying to, so you can get some loot from them. You have to hit them at least once, or when they die. Oh, see, I didn't think they spawned anything anymore if you didn't hit them at least once. Maybe something they fixed. Don't know. But I know for the build that I'm planning on doing, I'm going to need a large amount of bones. Why aren't you on fire? There you go. Rotten flesh is useless. Completely 100% useless. For the most part, you might as well not even bother keeping it. It's one of the few things in this game I'll say that about. It really should have given you something you could do with it constructive. Glad there's so many of these birch trees just intermingled with everything else. Then as soon as I get a little further, I can come back through here and start getting all the rest of the trees, and because they'll be a good fuel source for everything else. You know, the overall goal is to make a very large, very impressive castle. And while that is exactly what I intend to do, I'm going to try to avoid one of my biggest pitfalls in this game. I have a bad habit of wanting to build my structure out of a single material, and it looks plain and it looks ugly, and it just doesn't work as well if you do it all out of one material. You need multiple colors that complement each other, and you need them in patterns. If you actually look around at real structures, they aren't made out of one solid thing most of the time. Usually they have different colors. They will like kind of move outwards, which I'm sure serves a structural purpose, but in a game like this, when your building doesn't, it makes it look off. Makes it look like there's something wrong with it. And like I said, that's usually one of my failings. This time I'm gonna try to be much more aesthetic minded when I build my buildings. Now, the first house, yeah, not so much. Like I said, I'm just making it out of this wood because I like the way this wood looks better than the other, and I'm not worried about aesthetics on this house. This is for productivity, not looking at. But the castle, oh, I have such great ideas for the castle. Okay, how much? It's a good amount, but I'm gonna need more. You always need more. And then when you think you finally have enough, you need more. Plus that, and I kind of like this color door better. Oh, that's right though, I can't even bother with a door. I'm gonna have to just keep it blocked up. I'm playing on hard mode, which is my preference. I like hard mode better. You know, I feel like this game needs much greater challenge in it than it has, but it has its charm the way it is. But in hard mode, the zombies can tear down wooden doors, so the only way you're actually secure inside your house is if you have a metal door. And since I am woefully lacking in metal at the moment, I'll have to use a dirt door. I feel like there's something wrong there. I mean, should they really be able to tear through a wooden door so easily, and yet they can't even tear through dirt? Maybe I'm just nitpicking. Or maybe you played too much 7 Days to Die, because that's a good possibility. 7 Days to Die is an awesome zombie game, especially if you're a fan of this one and its style. Because in 7 Days to Die, they actually can break apart materials. You build it, and they will rip it to shreds trying to get to you. So you actually have to defend it. That adds a whole new layer of difficulty onto it. But we will be getting to that game later. Let's see, now as deep and as far as I've gone, can I get back to where I was? That's what I hate about not having a map. Let's see, that looks like the desert. Ah, there I am. Okay. And some of the trees started growing already. Very nice. I'll go ahead and plant more and let them keep growing. You don't really want them that close. You don't have to plant them very far apart, but the leaves block sunlight, so you need them some distance apart from each other. Alright, now let's go ahead and start turning this and this. Let's see how far I can get with this structure. One, two, three, four. You know, I'm the one who said that even numbers is not a good thing. 2, 3, 4, 5. So where do you want the even numbers? That's a good point. It's either an odd number on the inside or an odd number on the outside. Yeah, right there. Okay. crud. I didn't realize I'd already let this episode run for so long. I'm already at the 35-minute mark. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching my video, and I really hope to see you guys at the next one.